All right, so we're back once again with John Miller, the team manager of Samantha Tan Racing. When we last spoke, it was at Sebring, and you're almost completing your first year as a rookie team manager. What did you learn from last year?
Yeah, so started the team manager position, kind of stepped into it. Really, it was the start of end of 2022 was our first race. We entered a GT4 car and a touring car at Indianapolis under the STR38 Motorsports banner. Since then, we ran a full season with GT3 last year, 2 GT4 cars as well. We've consolidated under the name. We're running everything under STR now. Samantha Tan Racing, the STR38 name has kind of been retired, but that's more on the marketing side.
So I'm going to zoom in right there. So it's more, you have a collector's item for your shirt.
Exactly. Vintage jacket on today.
Awesome.
So what we've learned in the last year is that we're still learning along the way. That's why we love racing, because it's different every day. There's new challenges come up, and we've learned how to prepare for those and how to try and get ahead of things. And we're learning about the cars. Even now in our third year with the GT3, we're finding new development pieces. The track, for example, is brand new, repaved this year, so our notes from last year don't apply.
So
back to
basically, you tossed about the window over there to your left.
Sorry?
All those notes were tossed out the window. To
yeah,
left, right?
Exactly, right out that window. And anyway, to start with a blank slate. So again, that's the beauty of a motorsport, the beauty of racing. It's why we go out there and compete year in, year out, is to push ourselves, to learn, to find new things. And so, from the team manager side, it's definitely been drinking from the fire hose, but much less so this time. Last year, we were trying to accomplish a lot after having Mark Buska, the crew chief, and I. Mark is the technical side of everything on this team. The cars, the crew, parts management. He takes a huge brunt of that operation. I mean, that's all under his reign, and his background is mostly Porsche and Ferrari, and he's got really high level experience with all that stuff. And to throw a BMW at him is something he's never seen before. It was a big adaptation for him and for the crew. And so again, we really lean on the experience of our mechanics, some of the crew guys we brought over from Europe who know these cars really well, and have gotten us to the point where now, after a full season under our belt, I've made the comment a couple times already this weekend, is, man, how far we've come in just 1 year. As I think back to where we were at Sonoma this time last year, what the feeling was with the team, what our confidence level was like, which was pretty low at the time. We just wanted to get through the weekend, had no expectations, versus coming into this weekend this year, the way we left off at Indy in the last few races of the end of the season, our confidence was at an all-time high. Our learning was at an all-time high. We came into this weekend expecting results, and yesterday we got them. So P3, P4 overall with both cars. Now running 2 cars for the first time is new for us. 2 GT3 cars for the first time is a big undertaking, and so to come out on top in both classes, I think we really maximized the results for the BMW on a track that doesn't necessarily suit us, on a weekend when the BOP isn't necessarily on our side.
Right.
So that's all we can do, is really maximize, take what's on offer, don't make dumb mistakes, and take the points and move to a place that will suit us better, where we can really fight for the wins. So that was yesterday. We've got one more race today, and we're confidently going to that one. Excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, and obviously this time last year you were also you're a team manager, but you also hopped in a GT4 race car. So you had to do basically everything: run a car, run the team. Crazy. So hopefully that doesn't happen this year.
Well, hopefully for me it does. I still enjoy driving. I still plan on driving. There was actually a plan for me to drive a GT4 car here this year as well, until the last minute when one of those racing things happened and it just didn't work out. Couldn't get the deal done in time, but that's okay. I mean, I'm still really passionate about this, and the driving side is really why I'm here. I mean, I've driven for this team since 2018.
Right.
Samantha and I will do some driving together later in the year in Europe, and so the driving side is still something that really motivates me. And from the team management side, working with Mark, working with the crew, it's still really satisfying to get results managing it not being in the car, I'm more nervous not in the car than I am in the car. So yeah, last year was certainly a lot to handle, and we got some results in GT4, but that is a bit more of a known quantity. We've got 5 years, 6 years of GT4 experience under our belt. We kind of know how to handle those things, and GT3 is it's a whole different animal, and we're excited for the challenge.
Yeah, I guess next year will be another challenge because it'll be the M4 GT3 Evo.
Exactly, yeah. So BMW is developing the Evo kit for the car. We'll have 2 of those coming for our cars end of this year. We'll have to do some testing to figure out kind of what's new, how we have to adapt to that. But our baseline knowledge will stay pretty much the same. We don't anticipate any big major fluctuations or changes on the Evo. It should only be positive things for that that package. I know they're working hard on development for some of the areas that could use a little improvement on this car, and that's why they do Evo packages. They've taken a lot of input from the teams on what they'd like to see on the Evo package, and so we're excited to get that fitted and put those cars on track.
All right, so the other big change this year is you've added, obviously, another car, but you've also added BMW Motorsport legend in Bill Auberlen.
Yeah.
So how did that come about that you were able to get Bill and also Neil back into the team?
Yeah, so a big piece of what we've wanted to do is to elevate the whole team, to bring in factory drivers to really help elevate our performance. So getting Bill on board was key to that, and pairing him with someone like Varun, who's another up and comer. We've had a lot of young drivers and up and comers come to our team over the years, and that's what we pride ourselves on is driver development and on taking people who want to make this their career, want to develop, want to become factory level drivers, and pairing them with people like Bill, legendary drivers like Bill, and the young guns like Neil, who's paired up with Sam, to help that knowledge flow happen and help that progression for their career. That's really one of the main tenets of our team is driver development, and so putting those 2 together was key. I've got a good long relationship with Bill. We've raced together and on other teams in the past, raced against each other. We've known each other for a while. I was just looking through my phone the other night at some old pictures when Bill and I were on a podium together. I think all the way back in this would have been my GS season, probably in 2013.
All right, so we're locked up with Bill Auberlen, so you'd podium with him GS back in God knows when.
Yeah, so yeah, I was looking through my phone. Bill and I have known each other a long time, and kind of had come across a picture the other day of us together on a podium. He was driving for another BMW team at the time. I was driving for another brand at the time. So we Bill and I go way back. We were teammates a couple years ago in SRO GT4 on another BMW team. And so the relationship was already there, and we always collaborate. We always try and look for ways to work together, and so we were lucky to bring Varun and Bill together in this GT3 program this year to really help kind of propel Varun to that same level of like a Neil, a junior driver type of a career progression. That's why Varun's here. That's why Sam's here, is to progress, get better, move up the ranks, and be up there fighting for wins with the best drivers out there. So our program here is designed to do that, and having drivers like Bill, having the crew that we have that's managed by Mark, having the engineers that we've brought in. Some of the engineers that I've worked with in Europe over the years on BMW programs and other programs are people that I've brought into this program to help us bring knowledge and get us up to speed much faster than we would have been if we just were trying to figure it out on our own. So it's an idea that the sum should be more than just the parts, right? And we try and get some really good parts together, really good people together, working smartly, getting good pit stops, working on things like driver changes. There's so many variables that go into this whole program and go into getting a result out of racing that it's something that we work really hard on to execute well with. So really proud of the progress we've made so far in just a year under our belt on the SRO side of things with the one GT3 car last year. And so, 2 GT3 cars is a challenge. And having guys like Bill and Neil, I'll say it adds a little pressure from the team side and from the driver side because they're so good, because they're so experienced, and because they bring so much to the table, that we want to make sure we give them the best cars, that we have the best pit stops for them, that our drivers that are maybe not full-fledged factory professionals are working hard to match them and to be at their level. So that's what drives us. That's why we're here.
Yeah, speaking of that, so last year Samantha's progress just went through the roof. So when she had, I mean, John Edwards was a great driver, and he had other plans, kid, and then he decided to press pause on the racing career. But pairing Sam with Neil seemed to pay off really, really well. I think back to like Road America, where she was putting down the fastest lap times. It was just amazing progress from 5 years ago when Sam just started racing being introduced.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think having John Edwards come in, and John Edwards is another guy that I have a long history with. We started racing together in Skip Barber many years ago, and so to kind of come full circle and have him be a part of our program, towards the end of his BMW career, he's kind of shifted to a different career now, but he laid a really great foundation for us, starting working with factory level drivers and getting the input, giving Sam the input that a factory level driver could give her was really key. So I don't think it's any one thing, but I think it's again, everything we've done over the years to motivate Sam, to give her all these resources, and to show her that, okay, this is what it takes, and this is the information, and you need to go out there and use it to the best of your ability. And last year we saw, like you said, that progress. And I'll say that when Neil came in, she'd already taken what John had taught her and what we had developed as a team, and we really hit our stride about mid-year.
For sure.
Podiums after podiums after podiums, and then finally breaking through and getting the win in Road America was huge for the team, was huge for Samantha, and that progression continues. I mean, we've seen Sam start off the season right where she left off, very close to Neil on pace. Her confidence level is super high. And again, I think it goes back to expectations coming into the year. Last year we were in a different place than we are this year. So our expectations are to fight for wins, to fight for the championship every single race. And so that's the plan.
Yeah, so basically that's the goal for this season, is contend for a championship this year.
Yeah.
And hopefully, obviously, bring it home.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Looking ahead to, say, the next couple of years, where do you want to see this team go? Like, what's the end goal a couple years out? Your vision?
Yeah, I mean, the 5-year, 10-year plan, the idea, we'd love to, as a team and as drivers together, Le Mans is the goal for everybody. And the competitive landscape, the political landscape, with getting there as a team is very difficult because of just the way things are now in WEC. But that's not to say that we don't think about it and talk about it. That's kind of the peak. But there are steps to getting there. SRO is a great place for us to operate as a team. We've cut our teeth here. We've learned a lot here. There's real value in being here, especially from the business side, running customer cars, running driver development programs here, and we want to be here for the long run. We really love this series, and we appreciate everything that this series has to offer. IMSA is also on our radar in a big way. We want to go there when we're ready. We want to go there when it makes sense, and when we can capitalize on the opportunities that IMSA provides and the challenges that IMSA provides. I think a lot of us are thinking about IMSA and looking towards that as a potential next step, kind of depending on how this year goes. I think it's no secret that we'd like to be at Daytona, we'd like to be at Sebring. We've had that on our radar for a long time. So there's some unfinished business here in SRO. There's no reason to say we won't be back at SRO for many years to come. But yeah, there's expansion goals and thoughts and plans beyond it. And as you've seen if you follow the team, we race internationally. WEC is not the only thing. Le Mans is not the only thing. We go to Spa. We race in SRO Europe. Both fantastic series. We race at the Nürburgring. Samantha and I will be at the Nürburgring later this year. So really, we're very open-minded to where the next steps are and where it makes sense for us to go as a business, but where it makes sense for Samantha to go as a driver to achieve her goals as well.
That's awesome. So I think we'll wrap it up there because we're almost time for the grid walk.
Yeah.
We got to be out there, but thanks so much for your time, John.
Absolutely.
And we'll chat again, I'm sure, in the future, since we'll be at a couple more races with you guys.
Look forward to it.
Bye.